Saw a brief high five there. You know, at the top of our screen, Yeri Mendez wishing his friend good luck. And we are underway at the Lion's Den! Okay, so they're playing some control ball right now. Possessing the ball deep in their own zone. Trying to spread the field. Lots of movement thus far. Suddenly a quick kick upfield. Jose Rivera trying to get control of it. The ball's out of bounds. Will be a throw-in for Sporting ID 11. And the ball is kicked by Yuli Alberti deep into Capo FC zone, but didn't have any teammates there. Ball quickly kicked out of bounds. Throw-in coming for Sporting ID 11. Praise Madukwe with the throw-in. Ball is now quickly out of bounds again, this time. Capistrano FC to throw in. As Santiago Santi Vasquez throws in the ball. Capo FC feeling the pressure defensively, but still maintaining possession. And you have Santiago Vasquez with the cross, just a little too much on it, out of the reach for Gustavo Chavez to have a chance at putting that ball in the net. Result of the play, kicked out of bounds, throw-in coming for Sporting ID 11. And as they take the time to get the ball, as you can see, the throw-in will be from Servando Higuera to throw in. And Servando with the throw, it's a rainbow of a throw. Momentarily maintained, you know what, ball appeared to be out off Sporting ID 11, but the officials say Capistrano FC touched it last. Servando Higuera with the throw-in. Once again looking for an open teammate with a long line drive of a throw up field, but right at Javier Tico Loya of Capistrano FC. Free kick coming for Sporting ID 11. Contact foul in play there.
To the speakers.
Are we supposed to?
So when you're not talking, you want to mute, because when you're talking here, it's coming out through, it's picking it up through here. Yeah, that's what that's up. How do I mute it? Yeah, let's mute it. So now it won't go through. Thanks.
Free kick coming for Sporting ID 11 as they look to draw up a play here. Capo FC zone. Good defense there, headed up. An excellent recovery there by Eder Oliva to maintain possession for Capo FC. Ball's kicked downfield, close to midfield, but into a sea of too many white jerseys for Sporting ID 11. Sporting ID 11, just a reminder to everyone, is wearing the white jerseys. The navy blue jerseys are being worn by Capistrano FC. Free kick coming for Sporting ID 11 as they're putting the pressure on in the Capistrano FC zone. But the ball is secured in goal by Nate King. And now Nate's telling the team no get upfield. He's looking to really put a boot in this drop kick here. Instead, it's a low line drive. Oliver Caprine tried to get to it, but unfortunately to no avail. As Sporting ID 11 is kicking the ball back to their own zone, trying to regroup for a fresh possession, hoping to attack and put the pressure on Capistrano FC. And we do have a whistle on the play. And the ball's kicked back with a free kick on the contact foul on the play against Sporting ID 11. Capistrano FC currently trying to put the pressure on. Haven't appeared to maybe have a chance real early in the game, but have not really gotten deep into the Sporting ID 11 zone since. As Eder Oliva is now pushing the ball upfield, looking to make something happen. Squares the pass over to Michael Ossie Petrovsky. Oliver Caprine with the cross, but just out of the reach of Eder Oliva. Ball kicked out of bounds. Goal kick coming for Sporting ID 11. And now a fresh possession here for Sporting ID 11. Getting a chance to do the goal kick. It'll be Mark Aguilar with the kick. As the ball's headed up by Yeri Mendez. Ball out of bounds. Throw-in coming for Sporting ID 11. Servando Higuera will throw in. And Higuera this time, he throws back toward midfield. Again, good strategy here to regroup by starting the possession deep into their own zone. But excellent defensive pressure there as Oliver Caprine with the brilliant pass up the field. Gets it to Santiago Santi Vasquez. Vasquez trying to make something happen, still maintaining possession despite the pressure. And Oliver Caprine gets the cross in the middle. Appears to attempt a shot on goal, but it is blocked by the defense of Sporting ID 11 as it went right into their wall of players. Oliver Caprine with the drop-off pass. The attempted cross there, unfortunately just out of reach. But Capistrano FC still maintaining possession and putting the pressure on deep into the Sporting ID 11 zone. Now Sporting ID 11 able to disrupt that sequence there, but momentarily as Capistrano FC regroups and maintains possession of the ball. The switch of the field there on the cross by Michael Ossie Petrovsky. Ball out of bounds. Goal kick coming for Sporting ID 11. And once again a fresh possession here. A lot of contact upfield, but no whistle. Ref lets him play on. Great cross by Yeri Mendez, but will it be caught onto? And it is caught up to by Giancarlo Tamayo. Sporting ID 11 possession deep, but drop back pass to regroup. And Nate King with the save! As now Capistrano FC looking to put on the pressure. And a great save by Nate King. And the attempted cross there by Sporting ID 11. Great pressure, but unfortunately unable to capitalize on the numbers that they had. Excellent job of regrouping defensively by Sporting ID 11. A dangerous cross there, and it shows why, as excellent disruption there by Santiago Santi Vasquez. Free kick coming for Capistrano FC! So it'll be interesting to see what Capistrano FC decides to do here with this free kick. So they're just outside the goal box. For those watching at home, as you can see, just outside the 20-yard line, but now it's just a quick square pass. An attempted shot on goal. And we have a player down for Capistrano FC, and that's number 44, Oliver Caprine. Hopefully he's okay. That did not look like he's doing an acting job in any way, shape, or form. And look, the referee's asking for a trainer as Alex Hernandez, the Capistrano FC trainer, comes on the field.
Do we stop the clock?
Stoppage in play for a player down on the field. Once again, friendly reminder to everybody here, we do have a snack bar if you are hungry or you are thirsty. Snack bar is right around the corner with a wide variety of edible bites like pizza, nachos, candy sweets, and beverages to satisfy your thirst. As Oliver Caprine momentarily will be out of the game, still being attended to right outside the Sporting ID 11 goal. But in the meantime, Sporting ID 11 has the goal kick. They now have possession. And the switch of the field on the cross pass there, now to be handled by Yuli Alberti. But excellent defense there from Gustavo Goose Chavez to get possession back in Capistrano FC's favor. Ball is out of bounds. It will be throw-in for Sporting ID 11. And it's a big throw up ahead, but to really no Sporting ID 11 player in sight into a sea of Capistrano FC opponents. So now they have the ball deep in their own zone, trying to draw up a play here to continue progressing up the field. Ball out of bounds, throw-in coming for Capistrano FC! And throwing in will be Javier Tico Loya. Throwing to come right past midfield, so just slightly in the Sporting ID 11 zone. And with a line drive of a throw upfield, gets it off to Jose Rivera. Rivera looking to make something happen with a nifty move, but has no open teammate on an attempted cross there. And right now, ball is kicked out of bounds, and Capistrano FC pleading their case, saying the ball was deflected, but they are saying throw-in coming for Sporting ID 11. But they said, nope, the ball was off Capistrano FC, so it will be a throw-in for Sporting ID 11. As we were taking time trying to get the ball here, and it'll be Yeri Mendez with the throw-in again. He's been very active with the throw-ins very early on in this NISA Nation matchup. Ball just passes midfield. And a quick throw-in from Capo FC's Marcos Cervantes. Oliver Caprine fortunately is okay as you see him back in the game. As Sporting ID 11 continues to push upfield, the ball is kicked out of bounds. And what will be a throw-in for Sporting ID 11. And it's just a real quick throw-in as they switch the field. Yeri Mendez now maintains possession, kicks it back. And it's now in possession of the goalie, Mark Aguilar. Kicks it upfield with a big boot upfield, and we are going to have a contact foul on the play. Free kick coming for Sporting ID 11. Momentarily, we do have a player down here. And the referee he's now asked for the Sporting ID 11 trainer. Having trouble making out who it is that is down. But as always, you always hope that they're okay. There was definitely a lot of contact there, so definitely warranted the whistle there for the stoppage in play, which will be a free kick for Sporting ID 11. And fortunately, he is able to get off and walk on his own terms. And that was Eto Altabiet, number 9, for Sporting ID 11. As they're now ready to get the free kick underway. The great cross there, but into a sea of too many Capistrano FC defenders as they look to put the pressure upfield, but a little too much on that ball. Yeri Mendez to throw in for Sporting ID 11. A little too much on that ball as it was kicked out of bounds, quickly derailing any chance of Capistrano FC putting together a possession to put on the pressure upfield. As Gustavo Goose Chavez attempts to get it upfield, but unfortunately to no avail. But quickly, Oliver Caprine with the great steal there. Gets it over to Jose Rivera, and Rivera back to Caprine. Caprine gets the ball upfield with an excellent touch pass to lead the way for Sergio Santi Vasquez. Vasquez is brought down to the ground, but there is no whistle blown on the play. The refs let that one play on. As Capo FC looking to put on the pressure. Excellent idea by Sergio Montes, but even better defense from Sporting ID 11, as he was looking for Oliver Caprine to do some damage to hopefully put one in the net. Ball out of bounds. Throw-in coming for Sporting ID 11. That'll be Eto Alta BA. The throw-in, and a good long throw-in up the field there by Sporting ID 11, but it is headed out of bounds. Throw-in coming for Capistrano FC. As Santiago Santi Vasquez will throw in. And with the throw-in upfield just out of the reach for Oliver Caprine to try and get ahead on the ball to move it forward. But Oliver Caprine has been very active already early on in this game. One of their best weapons offensively, but also a very valuable asset defensively too. Very, very smart player. Excellent field vision and awareness for this Capistrano FC squad. As they now just pass the ball midfield, and with the kick across, switches the field. Oliver Caprine with the pass, and the left foot tries to cross just out of the reach of Gustavo Goose Chavez. Ball out of bounds. Goal kick coming for Sporting ID 11. Mark Aguilar will kick. Excellent idea there on a really good ball by Oliver Caprine, but like I said, unfortunately, just out of the reach of Gustavo Goose Chavez. The Sporting ID 11 now with possession, looking to get the ball upfield, and not a good pass there, as Sporting ID 11 quickly gives up possession. Ball kicked out of bounds. Goal kick coming for Sporting ID 11. It's going to take some time as the ball kicked a little far away, so it's going to take some time for Aguilar and Sporting ID 11 to get the goal kick in place. And it was Cameron Kahn with the attempted shot on goal. First shot attempt of the game for Capistrano FC. As now the ball is in place, Mark Aguilar getting ready to kick. Everybody waiting at about the midfield area. Mark Aguilar with a big kick, but right into Capistrano FC's Marco Cervantes. Cervantes with the kick back to Nate King, try and regroup, put together a good possession, and get the ball upfield deep into Sporting ID 11 zone, which is what Capistrano FC is hoping to do. But the pass is momentarily stolen. It kicked into the hands of Nate King. So Nate King secures the ball. Big kick. He switches the field with the kick over to Javier Tico Loya. And Loya with the drop-off pass. As Marco Cervantes has the ball deep in the Capistrano FC zone. Gustavo Goose Chavez with the cross over to Sergio Montes. Capistrano FC starting to put the pressure on and Oliver Caprine with the great cross, but Michael Ossie Petrovsky unable to gather possession to get a clean shot on goal. Goal kick coming for Sporting ID 11, but an excellent cross once again by Oliver Caprine. You're going to be hearing his name a lot today in this matchup. One of the best athletes on this field between both teams. Great athlete, excellent field awareness and vision, like I said. Has an excellent left foot when it comes to crosses and corners. Stay tuned if he gets his opportunity. Capo FC will kick the ball back to Nate King. Nate King with the quick pass to Marcos Cervantes. Sergio Montes with the pass back. And Cervantes deep in the Capistrano FC zone as they look to drop a play. Big kick up to Jose Rivera as Mark Aguilar kicks the ball out of bounds. Ball out of bounds. Throw in coming for Capistrano FC. As the quick throw in back by Javier Tico Loya to Marco Cervantes at around the midfield area. This time, Sergio Montes slowly brings the ball closer to, brings the ball deeper into the Sporting ID 11 zone. Great idea, but just too much mustard on that kick. Throw in coming for Sporting ID 11. Yeri Mendez to throw. And again, it's going to take a little bit of time. Here as Yeri Mendez has the ball. He's on the sideline deciding where he's going and who he's going to throw the ball. Tried to get it upfield, but into a sea of Capistrano FC defenders as they put the pressure on deep in the Sporting ID 11 zone. And an attempted pass back, but good enough defense there. Oh, but the steal again from Capistrano FC, and Gustavo Chavez was waiting for his teammate to get up close to the box, but some miscommunication there results in Mark Aguilar securing the ball for Sporting ID 11. With the kick just past midfield into a sea of Capistrano FC defenders, they now have possession, have the ball now halfway into Sporting ID 11 zone. Got a whistle here. Throw-in for Capistrano FC! And after the throw-in there, some sloppy play right now, but Capistrano FC is able to regroup, start moving the ball up forward, but unfortunately into a sea of Sporting ID 11 and Sporting ID 11 defenders. So now Mark Aguilar with the quick pass over to Yuli Alberti. Sporting ID 11 really has not been able to do much for the last 5 minutes or so, give or take, as Capistrano FC is continuing to put the pressure on. Clearly being the aggressors these last 5 minutes, dominating the clock in terms of possession. And right now you got Eder Oliva with the pass up, tried to get it to Jose Rivera, but unfortunately to no avail as the defensive presence was too strong from Sporting ID 11. A lot of contact here, but the refs are just letting them play on. As Sporting ID 11 on the attack here with Eto Albieta with the pass up. But excellent job of regrouping defensively as Yeri Mendez. And Nate King secures the ball! And a deep throw upfield to Gustavo Goose Chavez. Excellent job of maintaining possession to keep it away from Sporting ID 11 and their defense as they switch. Capri now has the ball. Got a third, but with the drop-off pass to midfield and an excellent touch pass, but unfortunately no teammate around for Capistrano FC's, as it was an excellent idea by Michael Ossie Petrovsky, but again to no teammate around as Mark Aguilar had the ball kicked back to him by his own player. Kicks the ball upfield, and at about midfield it is headed by Capistrano FC as they're able to get possession back. The drop-off pass into their own zone, taking a few seconds here to try and regroup. An excellent touch on the pass there from Javier Tico Loya to find Eder Oliva. And Oliva with the great pass up to Oliver Caprine. Caprine, the quick touch pass, and gets it right back, and Caprine, excellent idea, trying to move the ball upfield. But Santiago Santi Vasquez did not continue running with the ball. But now Capistrano FC starting to put on some pressure as they're getting deeper into the Sporting ID 11 zone. Eder Oliva with the pass up to Michael Ossie Petrovsky. And Oliva shields off Sporting ID 11 defense. Only has possession. switches the field on the pass to Oliver Caprine. And Santiago Vasquez has the ball stolen from him. And right now, Eto Albieta is taken down, but there is no whistle on the play. Again, the refs letting them play. Just letting them play as Capistrano FC starts to put the pressure on and move upfield. Michael Petrovsky with the pass up to Jose Rivera, but is double teamed and unable to get off a good shot. Ball kicked out of bounds by Sporting ID 11. Throw in coming for Capistrano FC. And as the ball trickles out of bounds, Javier Tico Loya with the quick throw in for Capistrano FC. Deep in their own zone to Marco Cervantes. And Cervantes gets the pass up to Michael Ossie Petrovsky. Petrovsky over to Eder Oliva. Drops it off back to Cervantes. And Oliva now, the ball about halfway in Capistrano FC zones with the kick up. Tries to get it to Santiago Vasquez. And Vasquez, excellent job being able to maintain possession there for Capistrano FC, as Gustavo Chavez attempts to switch the field on the pass to Javier Tico Loya, but it is intercepted by number 10, Yeri Mendez. And Sergio Montez attempts to pass up to Oliver Caprine. Capistrano FC now starting to put the pressure on, but once again some miscommunication on the play, and you're starting to see a little bit of frustration set in from some of the Capistrano FC players regarding that miscommunication on what could have been a golden opportunity to get an effective shot on goal. Mark Aguilar picks up the ball and just rolls it up the field as Sporting ID 11 looking to get some possession up. And Nate King with the kick. Ball out of bounds, throw in coming for Sporting ID 11. Sporting ID 11, as you see, Eto Albieta with the cross here. And as a result, it's the first score of the game for Sporting ID 11. Sporting ID 11 goal for number 16, Joey Chichito. That makes the score 1 for Sporting ID 11, 0 for Capistrano FC. Eto Albieta with the assist. Capistrano FC will have possession of the ball. Michael Ossie Petrovsky will start the possession for Capistrano FC. And that right there, the way they move the ball upfield that quickly, is not going to make Capistrano FC coach Pete Carey and his staff very happy. So hopefully they have a chance to regroup here and are going to look for an opportunity to attempt to tie the game up. Throw-in coming for Sporting ID 11. And Praise Monduque with the throw-in, deep upfield, but into a sea of Capistrano FC defenders as they now have the ball at midfield. And Marco Cervantes hits the ball up out of his zone, trying to make something happen here so they can nod this game up. As Oliver Caprine now has the ball right in front of the Sporting ID 11 bench, just past midfield. That's the ball back to Santiago Vasquez. As ball's kicked back by Sporting ID 11, Mark Aguilar gets the pass up to Julia Alberte with the cross to as Yeri Mendez now with the ball up gets it to Eto Albieta as they're deep in Capistrano FC zone looking to add to their 1-0 lead. Ball out of bounds, goal kick coming for Capistrano FC as Nate King will kick. Nate King will kick, and it's just a square pass over to Marco Cervantes. Now Gustavo Goose Chavez looking to make something happen just with a quick touch pass back to Javier Tico Loya. Then gives it back to Cervantes, and Cervantes, the cross pass, and he quickly gets the ball fed back to him as they look. Capo FC looks to draw up a play. Eder Oliva, the cross pass over to Oliver Caprine. Michael Ossie Petrovsky, the drop back pass is now Santiago Santi Vasquez, the ball. An attempted cross there from Jose Rivera, but unfortunately too strong of a defensive presence from Sporting ID 11 as we have a whistle for stoppage in play. As appears goalkeeper for Sporting ID 11, Mark Aguilar, is hunched over right now. Not sure if he had the wind knocked out of him, if he's dehydrated. But again, their trainer's over there attending to him. Stoppage in play on the field. Friendly reminder to everybody, if you can't make today's game or you can't make a future game, please subscribe to our Capo FC YouTube channel for our live stream for all of our NISA Nation matches for today and the rest of the season going forward. Like and subscribe to get the notifications. Also, a friendly reminder, if you're hungry or thirsty, we do have a snack bar with a variety of options, from pizza, nachos, candy, and some cold beverages to help satisfy and quench your thirst. So right now, and it looks like a change is likely to be made here in goal for Sporting ID 11. Mark Aguilar's taking some sips out of a water bottle, and it does not, maybe not changing goal, just an opportunity for them to get some water over to Mark. Starting to walk around a little bit on his own power, and it looks like he will be staying in the game. Trainer is yet to leave the field, so a final decision perhaps has not yet been made. We just got a fist pound from Mark Aguilar. It looks like he's going to stay in the game. And in the meantime, we have 11 minutes and 53 seconds here remaining in the first half at the Lions Den here in San Juan Capistrano, California at J. Sarah High School, home of the Lions, whose boys soccer team had an outstanding season, finishing second in Trinity League play and then the runner-up in CIF to their Trinity League rival, Cervantes. But here we go, and we are back underway as Capistrano FC gets the drop ball deep in their own zone. Sergio Montes with the pass up to Eder Oliva. Oliva up to Jose Rivera. Rivera with the touch over to Gustavo Chavez. And Chavez switches the field on the pass to Oliver Caprine. Caprine attempts to get it to Santiago Vasquez, but did not place the ball where he had hoped, and as a result, the ball is momentarily intercepted by Sporting ID 11, who now pushing the ball upfield, and looked like they had an opportunity, but a little too much on that ball. Ball out of bounds. Results of the play. Throw in for Capistrano FC! And with the throw in, it will be Santiago Santi Vasquez. Throws it in Oliver Caprine, and with the quick touch pass back to Vasquez, then tries to get it up to Jose Rivera. Ball secured by Nate King! Nate King makes the simple save there. No real pressure on him, deep pass. Quickly rolls it up to Sergio Montes, as now Santiago Santi Vasquez trying to get past Praise Duque, and a lot of contact here, a lot of people down, and the whistle will be called against Capistrano FC. It looked like a lot of contact from Maduque there, but the refs say that's Santiago Vasquez initiated it, and therefore it will be a free kick coming for Sporting ID 11. A nice display of sportsmanship there with the handshake between Maduque and Santiago Santi Vasquez. Praise Maduque with the free kick. He attempts to get up to Eto Altabiet, but just a little bit out, a little over his head and out of reach for an attempted header. But now Altabiet, he's got the ball in his, alongside in front of the Capo FC bench, or ahead of it, I should say, relatively deep in the Capo FC zone, as Oliver Caprin with the drop-off pass back to Nate King. Nate King squares a pass over to Marco Cervantes. Cervantes doesn't have an opponent within 10 yards of him. Gets it over to Sergio Montes. Montes, hooky to Caprin, and then he quickly touches it back to Montes. Montes with the pass over to Cervantes, who then goes back to Montes, and then it's a cross over to Eder Oliva, and Oliva kind of going back and forth here with these passes as Oliva gives it back to Sergio Montes. Attempts to get the ball to Michael Ossie Petrovsky, but out of reach and into a sea of 3 Sporting ID 11 defenders. And Javier Tico Loya with the cross pass over to Santiago Santi Vasquez, and Vasquez with the ball up. Mark Aguilar secures the ball for Sporting ID 11, and he'll throw across the field, gets it over to Praise Maduque. As Praise then centers the quick pass over to Giancarlo Tamayo. The Capistrano FC had too strong of a defensive presence there, not able to do much with it after it got into their zone. Now, Capistrano FC on the attack. Gustavo Goose Chavez attempts the cross to Michael Petrovsky, or maybe Oliver Caprin, not sure who that was intended for, but ended up between them and right at the chest of Praise Maduque. Ball out of bounds, throw-in coming for Capistrano FC! And Santiago Santi Vasquez with the quick throw-in to Caprin, who then touches it back to him. Contact made on the play, so there will be a stoppage. Stoppage in play. And the free kick, as Vasquez gets it over to Eder Oliva. Oliva switches the field to Javier Tico Loya. Right outside the Sporting ID 11 zone. Capistrano FC looking to tie this game. Eder Oliva with the cross, and the ball's punched out by Mark Aguilar smartly. And it's right at the feet of Santiago Santi Vasquez, and the drop-off pass to Cameron Khan. Khan has not had his name mentioned very often thus far, but he is a very integral part of this team, especially on the defensive side of the ball. As Sporting ID 11 on the attack right now is Eto Altabiet with the drop-off pass. As Sporting ID 11 will currently try to pad their lead, but to no avail, thanks to the excellent defensive presence of Capistrano FC. Jose Rivera with the pass up to Caprin. Caprin with a touch pass up to Gustavo Goose Chavez, trying to get to the ball, and is kicked out of bounds by Servando Higuera. Throw-in coming for Capistrano FC! As Eder Oliva with the throws it back to Javier Tico Loya. Loya with the drop-off pass to Sergio Montes. Montes switches the field over to Santiago Santi Vasquez, and quickly touches it back to Montes, who then crosses it over to Marco Cervantes. Jose Rivera with the drop-off pass to Montes, and squares it over to Cameron Khan. Now Sporting ID 11 is able to regain possession as Praise Maduque is taken down and a contact foul is called. He's pleading with the ref. You got to draw a card. You got to draw a card on that. But no card is drawn. A lot of physical play. Refs are letting a lot of it go. No cards drawn yet on either side of this game. It's Capistrano FC looking to attempt to tie this game up. Jose Rivera with the pass to Eder Oliva. Oliva up to Oliver Caprine. Caprine back to Oliva. Oliva with the cross to Gustavo Chavez. Chavez with the pass to Michael Petrovsky, who is unable to maintain possession but may have had a golden opportunity at a great shot on goal. Sergio Montes with the pass to Oliver Caprine. Caprine tries to keep it in bounds, which he does, and on the cross, it is kicked out by the Sporting ID 11 defense, and on another cross from Capistrano FC. But unfortunately, the ball's headed out of bounds by Michael Aussie Petrovsky. We have momentary stoppage in play, as Oliver Caprine is down again in the same vicinity of where he fell earlier in the first half, as he's able to get up on his own power, fortunately. Initially they called for the trainer, but he told them not to, and the referee has, as a result, insisted that they stay back. So glad to see Oliver's up and walking on his own power as he starts to jog back into his position. Goal kick coming for Sporting ID 11. Mark Aguilar to kick. So as Mark Aguilar gets ready to kick here for Sporting ID 11, as we have 3:55 remaining here in the first half of the Lions' Den in San Juan Capistrano, California. So Mark Aguilar with the kick upfield. And Capistrano FC here late in the first half would love to tie this game up with a smart possession. Ball out of bounds. Throw in coming for Capistrano FC. It's Oliver Caprine. He will give the ball to Santiago Santi Vasquez, who throws it in back to Cameron Kahn. Kahn passes it back to Sergio Montes, who switches the field on the square pass over to Marco Cervantes. Cervantes' dangerous pass, and the result of the play tells it all, as it's intercepted by Sporting ID 11, and it looked like they were going to able to put some pressure on, but fortunately for Capistrano FC, they were able to regroup defensively and prevent them from going any further into the Capistrano FC zone. So we do have a whistle here for a stoppage in play. Contact foul in the play. Free kick coming for Capistrano FC. It appears Michael Aussie Petrovsky will attempt the kick, as Oliver Caprine, who has excellent hops, by the way, for those who have not seen him play, as I mentioned earlier, is a terrific athlete. He'll get in the box or attempt to get a header on one. And the ball is secured by Mark Aguilar, but we have two players down, one of them being Mark Aguilar of Sporting ID 11. He gets up, and as does Marco Cervantes, fortunately. So we have a stoppage in play, what appears to be a contact foul, and it will result in a yellow card. Contact foul in the play, result is a yellow card for Capistrano FC, their first of the match. And the yellow card was drawn on number 4, Sergio Montes. And as a result, now you have a free kick coming for Sporting ID 11. As it appeared Praise Maduque was going to kick, but he was just running by. And Nate King secures the ball! Nate King secures the ball, throws the ball across the field to Cameron Kahn. Kahn with the pass up to Caprine. Caprine with the quick touch back to Cameron Kahn. But now Eder Oliva, as they slowly creep up toward midfield, hits the ball to Gustavo Goose Chavez. Now Oliver Caprine with the pass up to Michael Aussie Petrovsky, but just out of his reach. He's unable to do anything with it, as Mark Aguilar secures the ball, rolls it over to Praise Maduque. Is worth 30 seconds remaining here in the first half. And Capistrano FC, possession with the ball deep in their own possession. Surprised they're not attacking, considering, we're nearing the end of the first half here. And Oliver Caprine going one-on-one here with Praise Monduque. Monduque with the slide tackle. No whistle is blown for a contact foul, but the ball is kicked out of bounds, and as a result, throw in for Capistrano FC! The ball is thrown in by Santiago Santi Vasquez, gives it to Eder Oliva. Sergio Montes with the pass up to Gustavo Goose Chavez, but just out of the reach for him to be able to get a foot on it. Ball out of bounds, throw in coming for Capistrano FC! As Javier Tico Loya is putting his hand up, saying, you know, give me the ball, but it was instead just a quick throw in by Sergio Montes to his goalie, Nate King, because very limited time here. Every second is precious right now for Capistrano FC in this first half. And the ball is kicked out of bounds. Throw in coming for Capistrano FC! As Nate King has to get the ball from behind his own goal, throws it over to Sergio Montes, excuse me. It appeared he was going to throw it to Marco Cervantes, but instead the throw goes to Nate King. Quickly kicks it over to Cameron Kahn. Kahn gets it over to Eder Oliva. And Oliva with the kick up field is Gustavo Goose Chavez. Tempted to outrun everyone, but good defense there and awareness to put a head on the ball to prevent Capo FC from getting a chance to tie this game. The Sporting ID 11, they're now starting to push up field as Eto Alta B8 tries to move the ball upfield and a late whistle, but it is a contact foul and it will be a yellow card against Eder Oliva. Yellow card on the play against Capo FC's number 10, Eder Oliva, his first of the game. Second yellow card total for Capistrano FC. So now here we are in extra time here in the first half, and as I just mentioned, that is the second yellow card of the game that will be called on, or that was called on Capistrano FC. Result of the play is a free kick, and Servando Higuera, who is left-footed, will kick here for Sporting ID 11. Servando Higuera to kick, and attempts to get across, but fortunately for Capistrano FC into a sea of their own defenders. And that whistle will conclude the first half here at the Lions Den, and San Juan Capital has other plans. And it appears that Mark Aguilar will actually remain in goal to start the second half here for Sporting ID 11. Welcome back to the Lions Den here in San Juan Capistrano, California, as we get ready to resume play here, this NISA Nation matchup between Sporting ID 11 and your Capistrano FC! Sporting ID 11 will start the second half with the ball. Eto Altabiet will kick off for Sporting ID 11. And the second half is underway! So now a lot of passes back here at Sporting ID 11, looking to add to the lead, but excellent defensive sequence to start off the second half by Capistrano FC. As you now see in the game, number 18 for Capistrano FC around the midfield area is Daniel Segal. And the drop-off pass in their own zone, Capistrano FC kicks the ball back to Nate King from Marco Cervantes, who gets the ball back from Nate King. And with the kick up there, you see Jose Rivera trying to get to the ball. Ball kicked out of bounds. Throw in coming for Capistrano FC! And it appears that Eder Oliva will get the throw in to Jose Rivera right outside the Sporting ID 11 box, but unable to capitalize with an attempted shot on goal. Also in the game to start the second half for Capistrano FC's number 13, Luis Carmen Velasquez Jr. As he has the ball now, trying to make something happen. And you know, the ball appeared to be out on Sporting ID 11, but they are saying that it was last touched by Capistrano FC. Throw in for Sporting ID 11. And it was Praise Maduque with the deep throw up to Eto Altabiet, but to no avails. It's quickly out of bounds off Altabiet's chest. Throw in coming for Capistrano FC! Santiago Santi Vasquez looking for teammates. He throws it into Daniel Segal. Segal quickly touches it back to Vasquez. Vasquez up to Velasquez. And with the drop-off pass to Sergio Montes, but is unable to continue to push the ball forward as Cameron Kahn drops the pass back off to goalkeeper Nate King, who switches the field over to Marcos Cervantes. As Capistrano FC, once again, down 1-0, looking to get a quick score to tie this game up. And Luis Carmen Velasquez Jr. is brought down, but no whistle on the play. Refs let it play on. Very physical first half, too. 2 yellow cards were drawn against Capistrano FC. But overall, the refs have been letting them play this evening in this NISA Nation matchup. Throw-in coming for Sporting ID 11. And on the throw-in, it will be Giancarlo Tamayo with the throw-in. And he attempts to get it up to Eto Altabiet, who's unable to do anything with it, but the ball does go out of bounds. Result of the play is going to be a corner kick for Sporting ID 11. This will be our first corner kick of the game. Ball out of bounds, result of the play, corner kick for Sporting ID 11. Servando Higuera to kick. Servando Higuera with his left foot looking to get across there. Unfortunately for Capistrano FC, there was no white jersey in sight there because that would have been probably a chip shot of a goal. As Michael Ossie Petrovsky attempts to get the pass up to Jose Rivera, but Rivera is just outlegged. Ball's kicked out of bounds. Throw in for Capistrano FC! As Santiago Santi Vasquez, the dangerous pass, is unable to split the defenders of Sporting ID 11. And now Sergio Montes with the pass back to Daniel Segal. Segal with the drop-off pass to Sergio Montes, who switches the field over to Javier Tico Loya. And Montes, as Daniel Segal has the ball around midfield, gets the pass up to Michael Ossie Petrovsky, who successfully shields his opponent, and there is a whistle for a stoppage in play. Contact foul on the play. Free kick for Capistrano FC! So yep, Eder Oliva with the kick. It's it up to Luis Carmen Velasquez Jr. Ball's punched out by Mark Aguilar smartly. As Daniel Segal looked like clean defense to me, but the ref said enough contact to warrant a whistle. Contact foul on the play. Free kick coming for Sporting ID 11. As the sun's starting to go down, it's getting a little darker, a little more chilly here in San Juan Capistrano. At the nice South Orange County breeze. Ideal conditions for a soccer match. As Sporting ID 11 has possession relatively deep into Capistrano FC territory as Yeri Mendez attempts to do some damage, but Nate King secures the ball. Contact foul on the play. Free kick for Capistrano FC! It was an inadvertent contact there on Yeri Mendez. Applied to Capistrano FC goalkeeper Nate King. As Nate King has the ball touched back to him. Once again, 1-0 here in the second half at the Lions Den at J. Sarah High School in San Juan Capistrano, California. Ball out of bounds, throw-in coming for Sporting ID 11. Prince Maduque, number 17, to throw in. And number 17, Maduque, up to Eto Altabiet. Altabia was able to get a head on it, but not able to do much with it. And Luis Carmen Velasquez Jr. attempted to keep the ball in, but a whistle on the play for a contact foul. And the free kick for Capistrano FC! As Daniel Segal crosses it over to Sergio Montes. Ball out of bounds. Throw in coming for Capistrano FC! Javier Tico Loya to throw! And with the throw backwards, he gets it up to, goes back to Marco Cervantes right ahead of midfield. It's Michael Ossie Petrovsky with the drop pass to Sergio Montes. Ball out of bounds, throw in coming for Sporting ID 11. Prince Maduque to throw in. And so Prince Maduque with the throw in. Just a simple throw to his wide open teammate Giancarlo Tamayo, but excellent defensive presence as Capistrano FC looks to get the ball rolling. And there is a whistle on the play. Possession will go in favor of Sporting ID 11, excuse me, as they whistle Santiago Santi Vasquez for the contact foul on Prince Maduque. And they both shook hands. Excellent display of sportsmanship from both teams so far in today's match, as we have 36 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in the second half. And Prince Maduque with the throw in to Eto Altabiate. Santiago Santi Vasquez passes it over to Daniel Segal on the excellent steal there. And Segal with a nice touch pass as Eder Oliva with the shot on goal. Capistrano FC shot on goal and score! For number 10, Eder Oliva to tie the game at 1-1! And just like that, you know, from what appeared to be a broken play, but it all started, you know, with the steal defensively from Daniel Segal, and you hear the crowd going wild now. You hear the crowd going wild now with the chant for "Let's go Capo." And the stoppage in play, Capo FC or Sporting ID 11 trying to get the ball off. Yuri Mendez to kick for Sporting ID 11 with the drop pass now. And like I said, you know, they needed an answer quick for Capistrano FC, and within the first 10 minutes of the first half, they tie this game at 1. Right now, the energy here in their home stadium and the momentum is on their side. As Nate King with the pass, just wide of Daniel Segal. Sporting ID 11 with the ball deep in the Capistrano FC zone, which as a result of the play, you know, which forces Capistrano FC to just head the ball out of bounds. Ball headed out of bounds by Capistrano FC. Corner kick for Sporting ID 11. And a golden opportunity there. But right now, Capistrano FC putting on the pressure is Daniel Segal pushing the ball upfield. He's got Petrovsky, and he's got He's got Jose Rivera. Jose Rivera with the pass up to Eder Oliva. Oliva with the shot, and the save is made by Mark Aguilar. But wow, that was a golden opportunity again, and Eder Oliva was just inches away from his second goal of the game and nearly give Capistrano FC a 2-1 lead. But Mark Aguilar visibly frustrated with his team defensively, as he just had some words for them. I couldn't tell what he said, nor can I hear, but I'm sure they were not pleasant. Okay, Capistrano FC with Luis Carmen Velasquez Jr. with the ball. He crosses it over to Jose Rivera. Rivera with the square pass. Now Daniel Segal with the pass. Again, Capistrano FC really putting on the pressure here. As not only did they just tie the game, they right now have an opportunity to take the lead, but unfortunately the ball's kicked off to kicked off too hard by Capistrano FC, and as a result, now the momentum has shifted back in the direction of Sporting ID 11 as they have the ball deep in the Capistrano FC zone, and they have numbers. As Eto Altabiet with the shot on goal. Save made by Nate King! And Nate King with the throw up to Luis Carmen Velasquez Jr., Jose Rivera. The ball in midfield switches the field over to Eder Oliva with the pass up to Luis Carmen Velasquez Jr. Velasquez Jr. with the attempted pass. I'm shocked he did not take a shot. They tried to cross it to Petrovsky. Ball's kicked out of bounds by Sporting ID 11. Corner kick coming for Capistrano FC! Luis Carmen Velasquez Jr. to kick. And number 13, Luis Carmen Velasquez Jr. will attempt the corner. Here's another golden opportunity for Capistrano FC to turn this into a 2-1 lead. They have Velasquez Jr. with the corner. Almost, not quite. Momentarily kicked out of the box, and it's going to be a contact foul on the play. Contact foul on the play. Free kick coming for Sporting ID 11. Man, but I mean, again, another golden opportunity to turn it into a 2-1 lead for Capistrano FC. And again, I mean, you can hear the energy in the crowd here. They're pumped up. They're getting going, cheering on their team. And these are very, very loyal fans here. As Mark Aguilar kicks the ball upfield for Sporting ID 11. The ball's headed up by Cameron Kahn. And the ball's kicked out of bounds. Throw-in coming for Sporting ID 11. Prince Maduque to throw in. The ball's kicked out of bounds by Nate King there. Just a little too strong of a foot. Let out of the reach of all his teammates. Another throw-in coming for Sporting ID 11. Giancarlo Tamayo with the throw-in. Throw-in up to Yeri Mendez. Another throw-in coming for Sporting ID 11. The ball's kicked out of bounds. It looks like we are going to have a substitution here. Or is correct, not a substitution, just a new ball. Giancarlo Tamayo to throw in for Sporting ID 11. And the throw-in is parallel to the Capistrano FC zone. So here's a golden opportunity now for Sporting ID 11. In the game of soccer, the momentum can shift in the blink of an eye. Now in for Capistrano FC, number 12, Brian Herrera! As a substitution is made. So yes, it's Brian Herrera, Giancarlo Tamayo with the throw-in. But into a sea of Capistrano FC defenders as they've now shifted the momentum. Daniel Segal with the pass up to Eder Oliva, the lone goal scorer for Capistrano FC. Jose Rivera momentarily knocked down, but he gets right back up. Oliva attempts the pass up to Daniel Segal. Segal has the ball, and he is brought down, and it contact foul on the play against Sporting ID 11. And as a result, penalty shot for Capistrano FC! An excellent call there is Daniel Segal, who appears to be attempting the kick. Or will it be Michael Ossie Petrovsky? Right now, Petrovsky's the closest one to it. Michael Ossie Petrovsky will attempt the kick! So with the penalty kick, this is the perfect opportunity right now to try and get a 2-1 lead if you're Capistrano FC. as the momentum clearly has shifted back their way, but Mark Aguilar has had a very good game in goal as he goes from post to post right now in preparation to defend this kick coming from Capistrano FC and Michael Ossie Petrovsky. Okay. Right now the officials just making sure there's no players stepping into the box on this penalty shot attempt here. And Michael Ossie Petrovsky attempts the kick. And Michael Ossie Petrovsky scores on the penalty kick to give Capistrano FC a 2-1 lead. And listen to this crowd. They are fired up here at the Lions Den in San Juan Capistrano, California, J. Sarah High School, home of the J. Sarah Lions. And Dakota Collins has to be beside himself with what he has seen transpire as we have 27-20 remaining here in the second half. And in less than 20 minutes, that 1-0 lead at the half is now 2-1 for Capistrano FC over Sporting ID 11. Substitutions are made here for Sporting ID 11. Prince Maduque now has the ball. And a lot of contact there, but no whistle blown. And now there is one. This one will be against Capistrano FC. Contact foul on the play. Free kick coming for Sporting ID 11. As we have some new players in for Sporting ID 11. I'll get to momentarily. As they continue, they now have the ball in Capistrano FC zone, looking to see what they can do to tie this game up at 2. While Capistrano FC is looking to put together a good defensive effort to keep their 2-1 lead intact, as Michael Ossie Petrovsky is brought down to the ground, and a lot of contact and no whistle there, and that is a shock. But now Santiago Santi Vasquez gets the ball up, but it is unfortunately kicked out of bounds. Throw-in coming for Sporting ID 11. Prince Maduque to throw in. Players of note in for Sporting ID 11 be number 11, Anthony Jimenez. Santiago Santi Vasquez is throwing in here for Capistrano FC. Gets up to Luis Carmen Velasquez Jr. And Eder Olivo with the pass along the sideline to Brian Herrera. It's Brian Herrera with the drop-off pass to Marco Cervantes. Cervantes attempts to get the ball off field, but awkwardly came off his foot. Throw-in coming for Sporting ID 11. And the throw-in deep upfield by Sporting ID 11. Quickly kicked back to midfield by Capistrano FC. Right at the feet of Yeri Mendez, who's trying to continue pushing the ball forward, which he does, as he won that 50-50 ball there. Right now, Sporting ID 11 putting on the pressure. Ball is secured by Nate King! And Nate King secures the ball for Capistrano FC. And what looked like an opportunity to tie the game for Sporting ID 11. And another yellow card is drawn on the play. I mean, he just flashed the yellow card in the direction of multiple Capistrano FC players, but didn't really indicate or say who it was. But Prince Maduque with the throw in for Sporting ID 11 gets it up to Eto Alta B8. As we have a cross on the play from Xander Bakanowski. number 12 of Sporting ID 11. Once again now, the momentum's quickly shifted. What was a 1-0 lead at the half for Sporting ID 11 is now a 2-1 lead within the first 20 minutes of play here in the second half for Capistrano FC. Daniel Segal attempts to get the ball to Brian Herrera, but puts too much on it. Throw-in coming for Sporting ID 11. Yuri Mendez will throw in for Sporting ID 11. As Daniel Segal crosses the ball over to Carmen Velasquez Jr., tries to keep it in bounds, which he will, as he's going one-on-one with Prince Maduque. Behind him is Santiago Santi Vasquez with a great pass from Velasquez. Velasquez attempts to cross, but the ball is defended and deflected out of bounds by Sporting ID 11. Momentarily, we have a player down for Sporting ID 11. He is getting up, and that is number 8, Nick Garza, who's walking back toward the goal. Appears to be okay. Corner kick coming for Capistrano FC! Luis Carmen Velasquez Jr. to kick. So let's see now. Corners are always a good opportunity for a goal, as Luis Carmen Velasquez Jr. will attempt the kick. And with the kick, and the ball's punched out by Mark Aguilar again. Michael Ossie puts on the rebound, but the save is made by Mark Aguilar. Save made by Mark Aguilar. And Aguilar, he throws a dangerous pass. Ends up being intercepted by Capistrano FC. As Jose Rivera has the ball, it is kicked out of bounds, but no ball out of bounds. Corner kick coming for Capistrano FC! So now on this corner kick, Michael Ossie Petrovsky is walking over, so he appears to be the one attempting it. As you see, the rest of the Capistrano FC squad going over toward the Sporting ID 11 goal. But instead it's going to be Santiago Santi Vasquez to kick. And so number 21, Santiago Santi Vasquez will kick the corner. And it's a long one over to Daniel Segal that switches the field. With the cross attempt to Marco Cervantes. But just a little too much on it. And then Capistrano FC shot on goal is wide. Throw in for Sporting ID 11. And as a result, Sporting ID 11 with the throw in from Prince Maduque. Trying to push the ball upfield here, but it's still in their own zone. Ball deflected by Luis Carmen Velasquez Jr. Gives possession to Capistrano FC in the Sporting ID 11 zone. Great pass up from Santiago Santi Vasquez, but too many white jerseys around to prevent Petrovsky from being able to capitalize. Brian Herrera with the ball for Capistrano FC. Attempts to cross. Save made by Mark Aguilar. Stoppage in play on the field. Sporting ID 11 to kick. The attempted kick there, but it is out of bounds. Ball out of bounds. Throw in for Capistrano FC! Brian Herrera to throw in. And Brian Herrera with the throw in to Daniel Segal. So now Sergio Montez switches the field in the pass to Javier Tico Loya. Loya passes it up to Santiago Santi Vasquez, who goes right back to Javier Tico Loya. Loya with the safe pass back to Nate King, goalkeeper, with the kick up to Michael Ossie Petrovsky. Petrovsky switches the field on the pass to Santiago Vasquez. Vasquez with the drop-off pass to Javier Tico Loya. And Loya switches the field on a pass to Marco Cervantes at about midfield. Now, Eder Olivo scored the first goal for Capo FC with the pass up to Jose Rivera, but too much on it as Mark Aguilar secures the ball for Sporting ID 11. With 18 minutes and 30 seconds to go here in the second half at the Lions Den of J. Sarah High School in San Juan Capistrano, California. Capistrano FC still with a 2-1 lead. And now Sergio Montes with the pass up. And a deep cross from Eder Oliva to Luis Carmen Velasquez Jr. Velasquez with the excellent fake on Maduque, attempts to cross to Eder Oliva. The shot is just too high and over the goal. But an excellent offensive sequence there, even though it did not result in a goal for Capistrano FC. Goal kick coming for Sporting ID 11. As Mark Aguilar will kick the ball off for Sporting ID 11. And this second half has just been purely dominated by Capistrano FC, and not just on the fact that they've scored 2 unanswered goals thus far, but they've also just dominated in times of possession and where the possession has been on the field, majority of the time, noticeably in the Sporting ID 11 zone. So there's a stoppage in play here for a whistle, likely to be a contact foul on Sporting ID 11, and would be a free kick for Capistrano FC. Stoppage in play for a contact foul. Free kick coming for Capistrano FC! The free kick about 40 yards outside, 40 yards away from the goal. Eder Oliva to kick. Eder Oliva, like I said, the first goal scored for Capistrano FC, will kick. Attempts to get it to Marco Cervantes, but unfortunately was not able to get it far enough. As Eto Altabiet now with the ball, trying to put the pressure on the Capistrano FC defense. And the ball's kicked out of bounds. Throw in coming for Sporting ID 11. Brian Herrera kicked the ball out of bounds there to stop the momentum of potentially game-tying shot attempt by Sporting ID 11. But right now, just some possession ball in their own zone from Sporting ID 11. As they're, like I said, they're looking to put on the pressure, and there is a contact foul on the play, which will result in a free kick coming for Sporting ID 11. Andre Morris was showing off some fancy footwork with that soccer ball right there for Sporting ID 11. Free kick coming for Sporting ID 11 on the contact foul. And this is in the vicinity. You know, a chance where you can put the shot on, goal. Or you can get a header to a teammate, but fortunately for Capistrano FC, to no avail, as Luis Carmen Velasquez Jr. with the big kick upfield, just to get the ball out of the Capistrano FC zone. And the pressure was put on by Michael Ossie Petrovsky. Result of the play will be a throw-in. Ball out of bounds, throw-in coming for Capistrano FC! And on the throw-in, it will be Santiago Santi Vasquez. Vasquez quickly gets it back to him with the pass to Michael Ossie Petrovsky, who scored the second goal to give Capistrano FC its current lead on the penalty shot. Ball out of bounds, throw-in coming for Sporting ID 11. Prince Maduque to throw in. So Prince with the throw upfield. Sporting ID 11, it's trying to put the pressure on, but Javier Tico Loyo, excellent defense there, gets possession back for Capistrano FC as Daniel Segal with the pass up to Luis Carmen Velasquez Jr. And Velasquez shields off Maduque. So we have a whistle on the play for an offsides. Offside is the call on Capistrano FC. And right now, Mark Aguilar to kick. And it's a strong kick upfield. We're going to have a contact foul on Marco Cervantes here. No card is drawn. He's trying to plead his case. But there was noticeably a lot of contact, as he practically had Eto Altabiet in a bear hug there. Free kick coming for Sporting ID 11. And Xander Bognowski. And Nate King secures the ball! Nate King securing the ball for Capistrano FC. And he was trying to tell everyone to go forward like he was going to kick, but instead with the smart pass, throws it over to Santiago Santi Vasquez. Luis Carmen Velasquez Jr. attempted to cross to Michael Ossie Petrovsky, but didn't have enough elevation on it to get it to him. As Santiago Santi Vasquez gets it up to Luis Carmen Velasquez Jr. Velasquez back to Vasquez. Vasquez with the pass to Sergio Montez. Montez switches the field on the pass to Eder Oliva. Oliva with the attempted pass up to Jose Rivera, but too strong and secured by Mark Aguilar of Sporting ID 11. And it was a late whistle, but there is a contact foul on the play as Sergio Montez is brought to the ground by Eto Altabiet of Sporting ID 11. Sergio Montez is still on the ground, gets help up from Marco Cervantes, so it appears Sergio is okay. And yet he appears to be walking just fine. But jogging over toward the sideline. Looks like we are going to have a substitution here for Capistrano FC. Substitution for Capistrano FC. Coming out of the game, number 4, Sergio Montez. Number 2, Marco Cervantes. And number 9, Michael Ossie Petrovsky. Daniel Segal to kick for Capistrano FC. Gets it up to Eder Oliva. Oliva attempts to cross to Luis Carmen Velasquez Jr., but too deep of a cross on the attempt to switch the field as well. But right now, Eto Altabiet, he tries to drop off the pass to Prince Maduque, but it's intercepted by Luis Carmen Velasquez Jr. with the great flick to Santiago Santi Vasquez, but Sporting ID 11 momentarily regains possession of the ball in their own zone as we approach 10 minutes to go here in the second half at the Lions Den in San Juan Capistrano, California at J. Sarek High School. The Capistrano FC with the ball in their own territory close to midfield. Daniel Segal, the square pass over to Santiago Santi Vasquez. Santi with the pass back to Javier Tico Loya. Loya touches it back smartly to his goalkeeper, Nate King. Nate King gives it off to Jose Rivera as Rivera attempts to bring the ball up past midfield. Ball out of bounds. Throw in coming for Capistrano FC. Brian Herrera to throw in for Capistrano FC. He's got Eder Oliva in front of him. Daniel Segal, the dangerous pass attempt to Luis Carmen Velasquez Jr. Not surprisingly intercepted defensively by Sporting ID 11. Prince Maduque with the square pass over to Bakanowski. As Etta Altabiet, he is brought down to the ground, and he appears to be in pain on that contact foul, and the result is a yellow card. It's the 4th total yellow card of the game for Capistrano FC. And Etta Altabiet has been down with precious seconds ticking off the clock here. 8:20 remaining here in the second half. But he is up, he gingerly walking, but appears that he will remain in the game and that he will be okay. Contact foul on the play. Free kick coming for Sporting ID 11. And ironically, around the ball to kick are Xander Bakanowski, number 12, and number 11, Anthony Jimenez. And the ball is secured by Nate King! Nate King secures the ball. As Capistrano FC looking to push the ball deep, hoping to run the time off the clock to preserve this 2-1 lead, which would seal a victory for them. It's Capistrano FC, Brian Herrera with the cross over to Luis Carmen Velasquez Jr. Velasquez with the shot on goal just wide. Goal kick coming for Sporting ID 11. Just wide on the shot attempt by Luis Carmen Velasquez Jr. And Mark Aguilar with the kick. Goes past midfield on it. While it's headed up by Javier Tico Loya, who has excellent vertical ability himself. As Luis Carmen Velasquez Jr. shields off, Anthony Jimenez is able to keep the ball in bounds, kicks it over towards Sporting ID 11 goal as it is secured by Mark Aguilar. Aguilar dumps the pass off. As Sporting ID 11 running out of time in their attempts to tie this game. We have 6:20 remaining here in the second half. Pass is up to Anthony Jimenez, but too strong and out of bounds. Throw-in coming for Capistrano FC! Santiago Santi Vasquez to throw! As right now, Santi Vasquez with the throw upfield, and it's a big one to number 20, Luis Miguel Messi Mata. Messi's a nickname, but it's Luis Miguel Mata. And at the moment, you have the ball just past midfield in the Capistrano FC zone, controlled by Sporting ID 11. Ironically, the pass to number 11, Anthony Jimenez, from Prince Maduque. And Jimenez with the shot on goal and wide, going to be a goal kick coming for Capistrano FC! With the goal kick there, Nate King slowly walking to place the ball up, looking to attempt to get a big foot on this one, as we're about to hit 5 minutes remaining here in the second half. And the big kick from Nate King. Over to Eder Oliva, but a handball is called. Handball is called. Free kick coming for Sporting ID 11. As Bakanowski with the pass over to Prince Maduque. Now Anthony Jimenez, the ball into the Capistrano FC zone, but too much on it as he tried to hit Andre Morris on that one. So the ball's out of bounds, and a goal kick for Capistrano FC! It's Nate King with the kick. Gets it up to Joshua Casarubias. Contact foul on the play. Contact foul on the play. Free kick coming for Capistrano FC! And on the free kick, it will be Eder Oliva. Correction, it was actually Franklin Campos. As Capistrano FC kicks the ball upfield. Ball out of bounds. Result of the play will be a corner kick coming for Capistrano FC! And with 3 minutes and 20 seconds remaining here in the second half, a score for Capistrano FC on this corner attempt here would most likely seal the victory. Santi Vasquez to kick! So Santiago Vasquez will be kicking with his left foot from the corner. And it's a good ball, but not high enough to get to Javier Tico Loya, but Daniel Segal has the ball about 30 yards out. Tried to put a deep shot on goal, but didn't get enough elevation on it. But now, Sporting ID 11, they have numbers if they can get possession of the ball. But the ball smartly kicked out by Javier Tico Loya to help stop the momentum on that play. Ball out of bounds, throw-in coming for Sporting ID 11. That was quick. So Prince Monduque. The pass up as Santiago Santi Vasquez with the pass up to Luis Carmen Velasquez Jr. And what nifty footwork there to be able to keep the ball in bounds. Ball out of bounds. Throw-in coming for Capistrano FC! With 2 minutes remaining in the second half. 2 minutes! Santiago Santi Vasquez with the quick throw into Daniel Segal. Luis Carmen Velasquez Jr. with the excellent flick pass up to Luis Miguel Messi Mata. A lot of contact on that play, but no whistle there. Throw in for Capistrano FC! And just because it does say there is 1:30 remaining on the clock, however, there is extra time to be played in this NISA Nation matchup here at the Lions Den. Ball was out of bounds, and that right there was a quick throw-in for Sporting ID 11, trying to get something done quickly, but to no avail into a sea of Capistrano FC defenders. Throw-in coming for Capistrano FC! Eder Oliva to throw. So Eder Oliva to throw in. Right here, he's trying to tell everyone where to go, deciding where and who to throw to. Has a quickly touch back to him from Jose Rivera. Throw-in coming for Capistrano FC! Right now, Jose Rivera with the ball. Excellent pass to Luis Miguel Messi Mata. Rivera with the ball in the Sporting ID 11 box, but it is kicked out as Daniel Segal gets the ball. Shot is on goal, but wide. Goal kick coming for Sporting ID 11. Mark Aguilar to kick. As we have 10 seconds left on the game clock, but like I said, there will be extra time. Mark Aguilar quickly sets the ball down, kicks it to about midfield as it's bumped off the chest of Santiago Santi Vasquez. What an excellent pass from Luis Miguel Messi Mata to Luis Carmen Velasquez Jr. Luis Carmen Velasquez doing an excellent job maintaining possession of the ball and shielding off his opponents of Sporting ID 11. And the ball is out of bounds. Ball out of bounds. Result of the play will be a corner kick for Capistrano FC. And to kick, it will be number 10, Eder Oliva to kick. This would definitely seal a victory if Capistrano's FC is able to... Oh, never mind. Throw in. My bad. But... Javier Tico Loya with the excellent pass switches the field. Daniel Segal over to Brian Herrera. Herrera looking to make something happen here. Tries to push it up to Jose Rivera, but too much on it as Rivera's outrun by his opponent. Ball out of bounds. Throw in for Capistrano FC! And we are in extra time here as precious seconds continue to tick off the clock. Eder Oliva to throw in. As Eder Oliva looking to throw in at this time. That's it to Luis Miguel Messi Mata. Throw in for Capistrano FC! And so Luis has the ball. He's able to maintain possession of it from the time being, going through 3 Sporting ID 11 opponents. Ball's kept in bounds and still possessed by Capistrano FC. Daniel Segal with the attempted shot on goal, but it is blocked by Sporting ID 11. Corner kick coming for Capistrano FC! And right now, as you see Eder Oliva standing there, it looks like it's just going to be a quick touch pass from Santiago Santi Vasquez over to Oliva, which it is. And Oliva tries to split the defenders to no avail. Josh Casarubias momentarily had possession there for Capistrano FC as Mark Aguilar picks the ball up and is going to try to kick one as far as he can downfield. Instead, actually ends up throwing it, surprisingly, right at the feet of Eder Oliva, and Oliva continues to push the ball up and put on the pressure as the ball bounces over Luis Miguel Messi Mata's head. Miguel trying to make something happen. Contact foul on the play. Another yellow card is drawn on Capistrano FC right there. And even though they have dominated the second half, I mean, 5 yellow cards today against Capistrano FC is not going to make head coach Pete Carey very happy. Santiago Santi Vasquez heads it up to Luis Carmen Velasquez Jr. As Velasquez totally thought it was off Anthony Jimenez of Sporting ID 11, but the refs say it was off Capistrano FC. As Velasquez kicks the ball up ahead, out of the Capistrano FC zone, at the feet of Mark Aguilar. Santiago Santi Vasquez Jr. attempted to head the ball up, but it grazed the top of his head and has stayed in the Capistrano FC zone as Anthony Jimenez, with the kick, attempts the cross, but it is deflected out by Daniel Segal. Prince Maduque to throw in for Sporting ID 11. He tries to get it into Andre Morris. But as the ball's kicked out by Capistrano FC, the pressure put on defensively by Jose Rivera. Eder Oliva kicks the ball upfield to Luis Miguel Messi Mata, and Luis kicks the ball up toward the Sporting ID 11 goal just wide. Goal kick coming for Sporting ID 11. Mark Aguilar to kick. And Mark Aguilar, he took a bunch of steps back there as he's looking to put as much of his foot into this one as he can. And that whistle will conclude tonight's NISA Nation matchup between Sporting ID 11 and your Capistrano FC. The final score, 1 for Sporting ID 11 and 2 for your Capistrano FC. Goals scored in tonight's game for Sporting ID 11. Number 16, Joey Chichito. For Capistrano FC, goal scored by number 10, Eder Oliva. And number 9, Mike